Toops, the Jedi Believe, jamming the Friday Night Lights music. Oh. Yeah, pretty cool stuff here. Today we're going to do Unit 1.3. We're already in the 3rd unit. This year is flying by. Let me turn off that great band music. Mr. Toops loves the band. Okay, so today we're going to go to Unit 1.3, Assignment 1. And it is going to be a blast, I guarantee. Okay, this is a very deep lesson. This is like extremely important. This is a lot of your teaks combined up in here with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to be given a point and a slope, or 2 points, and we're going to generate the lines. And we're going to write the line in point slope, Y-intercept form, and standard intercept form. This is not going to be easy. So really quickly, at the top right here, write down point slope. Let me get in a pen that you can see. So write down point slope. This is on your formula chart. You will not have to memorize it. Point slope is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Okay, so your x1 and y1 are a point, and your m is your slope. So if you plug this in, you can generate the equation of a line in point slope. You'll use this a lot in your pre-cal and your calculus. You'll just get a point and a slope, and bam, you plug it into point slope. You should know slope intercept. So slope intercept, this is what you started off with. It's y equals mx plus b, right? And then lastly is standard, and I'm running out of room up here. Standard form, you learned this last lesson. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. So these are the 3 forms you need to know, and I put them all in here in the directions. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take it, plug it into point slope, generate slope intercept, and generate standard. Okay, so this isn't easy. You'll get the hang of this. We're doing this for like 3 days. So don't freak out here. This is not easy. Okay, so let's go to here. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is label the x, the y, and the m. Okay, so we're going to label the x, y, and the m. Then let's go ahead and write down point slope. Point slope is right here. And you look up fun in Google Images and bam, point slope equation pops up. Let me separate this out some more. Now then, please notice, your x1 and your y1 have minus signs in front of them. That means the opposite of my y and the opposite of my x. So when I plug in this x and y, it's going to switch it. The signs are going to be opposite. The y will go here, and the x will go here, and my m will go here. So let's do this. Now that if you won't, this kind of helps out. Write down y blank equals blank parentheses x blank. I'm going to put my y here, my m here, and my x here. Does that make sense? So I'm going to take this, and this, and plug them in with this. Okay, now then, let's do this. If I put -1 right here, the opposite of -1 is a +1 in it. So this will be +1. Notice these signs are going to flip. My slope is -6. There's not a negative here, is there? So this won't change. And then my x is 1. If I put 1 right here, the opposite of +1 is a -1. So now I have my point slope, don't I? Everyone with me? Now then, I got to change this into y-intercept, and I got to switch it to standard. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of that slope. So let's bluebell truck the slope. So we're going to write down y plus 1 equals -6x plus 6. Everyone with me? Oh. Okay. Now then, over here on the left, write this down. Write down y equals mx plus b. This is what you're used to getting. If I want to make this look like this, I've got to take this number and move it over to the 6 donut. So draw an arrow, and I'm going to put my slope intercept down here. So to do this, write this down again. Y plus 1 equals -6x plus 6. We're going to move that 1 across, aren't we? And when we do that, we get y equals -6x plus 5. That is my y-intercept. Everyone with me? Okay, so we have the point slope equation, we have the y-intercept. Now we need to get the standard, don't we? So go over here to the right and write down AX plus BY equals C. AX plus BY equals C. So for this to turn into this, I need to move the X to the beginning and that 1 to the right, don't I? I need to move the X to the beginning and the 1 to the right. So let's write this down again. I'm going to write down Y plus 1 equals negative 6X plus 6. I'm going to take the 6 and move it over here, aren't I? When I do that, the negative will turn into a positive. So 6X plus Y plus 1 equals 6. And then I'm going to take this 1 and move it across. And I'm going to have 6X plus Y equals 5. And I'm going to box that in. So notice I have all three equations, don't I? This is my slope, this is my point slope, this is my y-intercept, this is my standard. And you'll get the hang of this, okay? This is not easy. This is a lot of steps. This is the most steppy thing you're going to be doing in here. Now down here will be when you get the 2 points, okay? This isn't easy, and we're going to do this for 3 days. So you'll get to the hang of this. Okay, is there any fractional slopes? Let's do a fractional slope. So let's go down to number 5. Hey, y'all got this. You're going to be fine. I got your back, okay? Above this, write down X, Y, and M. That's important to do. Now then, let's do the blanks right off the bat. So write down Y blank equals blank, parentheses X blank, right? This is going to be my minus Y1, my M, and my X1, right? This kind of helps the students plug it in. Now then, this number, remember the Y is going to be the opposite. So what's the opposite of negative 4? Excellent. It's going to be positive 4. My M won't change, will it? So I'm going to write down negative 7 over 5. This one will be tough. And then my X is going to be X minus 4. This right here is my point slope. So I already have my point slope. Now then, if I distribute this 7 over 5, I'm going to get an ugly fraction here. It's going to be ugly, right? So let's get rid of that fraction first. And this is the first time y'all have done this. So please pay attention. This is going to make your life simpler. Once this clicks, it's going to take like 5 times maybe. Sometimes some of y'all might take like 5 times to get this. You'll get it though. We're going to get rid of that fraction by distributing the denominator exactly the same way I taught you at the beginning of the year. But this is tricky because this is already a bluebell truck in it. So let's go through and distribute this 5 to the y. So I'm going to put this in black. I'm going to distribute it to the 4. Let me rewrite this again. Okay, so I'm going to write down y plus 4 equals negative 7 over 5 parentheses x minus 4. Oh, what a blast. Okay, so I'm going to bluebell truck my 5. So this gets a bluebell truck, this gets a bluebell truck. Now then, this bluebell truck's already going to these 2 stores in it. So I just got to drive my bluebell truck to this one. Notice I have 2 bluebell trucks here, right? These 2 bluebell trucks are going to merge your stuff up and then go to the stores. Does that make sense? So I will not put this 5 over the x and 4 because this is already a bluebell truck. Now then, let's go left to right. 5 times y is 5y. This is the first time y'all have ever done this. Don't freak out. So 5 times y is 5y plus 20 equals, what happens to the 5's here? Excellent. 5 divided by 5 is 1 in it. So these 5's would cancel out. Now then, I'm left with negative 7. So now I've got to bluebell truck my negative 7. So I'll bluebell truck my 5 to these 3. These cancel out. Now I got to bluebell truck my negative 7. The shortcut, this negative 7's left, so I'm going to bluebell my truck all in one step. So I would go straight from here to here, but we're just going to show step by step here. But this is eventually what you're going to be doing here. Now then, the 5y and the 20 won't change. And we're going to get negative 7x plus 28. And I told y'all this is one of the hardest things you're going to do here in the spring. Once you get to here, you're going to put your y-intercept on the left and your standard on the right. So let's write down y-intercept. The y-intercept is going to be y equals, oh, that's too thick. Y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to rewrite this over here. 5y plus 20 equals negative 7x plus 28. Now then, to make it look like this 20 has to get moved over and I have to divide by the 5, don't I? I want the y all by itself. So let's move over the 20. Let me keep all this in red. And I'm going to subtract 20. I'll get 5y equals negative 7x plus 8. And then we're going to divide by 5. And I'll get y equals negative 7 over 5x plus 8 over 5. And notice, these are going to be freaky looking. Some of them, like, y'all didn't write equations like this. The y-intercept will not always be a whole number. The y-intercept will not always be a whole number on this, so get used to that. Now then, we're going to go over here, write this down, and we're going to write down the standard. So let's do the standard in green. So I'm going to have ax plus by equals c. So I'm going to write this down again. 5y plus 20 equals negative 7x plus 28. Now then, for this to look like this, I got to move the x to the first and the 20 over here. I got to move the x to the first and the 20 over here, don't I? So if I move the x to the left, and I'm going to, y'all will get the hang of this. If I move the x to the left, it's going to go from a negative to a positive in it. So I'm going to have 7x plus 5y. Now then, subtract this 20, all in the same step. So 28 minus 20 is 8 in it. And bam, I got my standard form, don't I? So that's my standard form. This is my y-intercept form. And this right up here would be my point slope in it. So I have point slope, I have y-intercept, and I have standard. All three of these equations would graph the same line. All three of these equations would graph the same line. Let's do number 8. This is pretty tough, okay? I'm going to do a lot of these with you. Okay, so number 8. Let's write down x, y, and m. X, y, and m. Then we're going to write down y blank equals m parentheses x blank, right? Just check it. Now then, I'm going to put my y here, my m here, and my x here. Remember, these are going to switch signs. So when I plug in the negative 1, it's going to turn into a positive 1 in it. My m will stay negative. Oh, this should be a blank. Sorry about that. So plus 1, and then negative 1 over 5, and then this is going to be minus 5. Okay? So the negative 1 goes here. It switches signs. The negative 1/5 goes here, and my 5 goes here. Now then, let's write this again. Now then, this will be a little bit easier because there's not a number up here. But I've got a bluebell truck, that 5. I got to get rid of it before I distribute. Always try to do this. So we're going to put a 5, a 5, and a 5. Remember, these two bluebell trucks are going to merge and then distribute. Now then, 5 times y is 5y, plus 5 times 1 is 5. These 5s cancel out, and I have a negative 1 here, don't I? So I'm going to distribute that negative 1 all in one step. So I distributed the 5. Bluebell truck, 5 times y is 5y, 5 times 1 is 5. These 5s cancel, and I'm going to distribute the numerator. So negative times x is negative x, and then negative 1 times negative 5 is plus 5. Everyone with me? Oh! Okay. Now then, we're going to take the x, and let's write down y equals mx plus b. And what do I need to do to make this look like this? I'm going to move the 5 over and divide by 5, right? So write down 5y plus 5 equals negative x plus 5. I'm going to move the 5 over, and what's going to happen to the numbers? It's going to cancel, right? 5y equals negative x, divide by 5, and I'm going to get y equals negative 1 over 5x. So that's my y-intercept form. This is my point slope form. Now then, let's get the standard. Let's do this in green. I'm going to write down ax plus by equals c. And I'm going to write this equation over here. 5y plus 5. Sorry about that. So 5y plus 5 equals negative x plus 5. What am I going to do here? I'm going to move the x to the beginning and that 5 over. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the negative x, move it over here, and it's going to change to a positive x. So x plus 5y equals, take this 5, move it over, and you get 0, don't you? Boom, I got my standard. Remember, if your x is negative, you'll flip all the signs. If the x is negative, flip all the signs. So now I have my y-intercept, my standard, and my point slope. Excellent job, okay? You're going to get this. We'll do the back on tomorrow we'll do the back. So just finish. You only got like 5 problems left on this. Finish these up. And on Friday, on the next day, it's going to be a little bit harder because we're not going to be given the slope. You're going to get this done. You're going to be fine. Let's see if this works this time. Ha! It works. Remember to always believe, and you are awesome.